Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hurricane HQ, and today we have another United States weather update here for October 19th, 2021. Now in this video, I'll be updating everyone the current situation on severe weather and tropical weather in the United States and Atlantic and Pacific basins, and also I'll be going over the potential winter storms to be unfolding in the western U.S. today and tonight, which could possibly drop up to 2 feet of snow in some areas of Wyoming. So I'll be covering all the latest information on that and everything else that's currently happening today and in the next few days. Now let's first start off this video with our latest day 1 convective outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center. And it's been a few days already since we had a marginal or any risk for severe thunderstorms, but as you can see right here, we have a risk of a few severe thunderstorms right here. This is located in South Dakota and Nebraska. Just this green area is really where the main threat is for some severe weather. Maybe if an isolated severe surrounding this green area, and then surrounding this entire light green area is that general thunderstorm risk, which means 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts or pea-sized hail are possible in a few of those thunderstorms. So better watch out if you're in this green or dark green area. Now, if we go more in depth to what this main marginal risk for severe weather is, this is actually for hail. There is no wind risk associated with this storm potential. There's a 5%, which is a marginal risk for hail. So this means that there is a chance for some hail above 2 inches in diameter. In this area right here. So there is some potential for some large hail, and if not 2 inches in diameter, probably about 1 inch in diameter or anything like that. That would make it a severe thunderstorm. So we have potential to see pretty dangerous storms in this area. So I would say better watch out if you're in this marginal risk, because this is hail driven. And just about all hail is where we're going to be seeing this area. Not a wind risk, but hail due to those upper level cold temperatures. Those cold temperatures at the higher levels of the atmosphere are going to be driving that hail threat. So let's now move on to our day 1 excessive rainfall outlook here from the Weather Prediction Center. And as you can see right here, we do have a small marginal risk in effect for portions of northern California here. This is the area that currently there is a marginal risk in effect. And that basically means that there's a 5 to 10% chance of a flash flood within 25 miles of any given point. So you just say you put a point here. Within 25 miles of this point, you could be seeing flash flooding. So yeah, that's basically what that marginal risk does mean. And yeah, it's not the highest threat. I understand that. But there is a threat, unlike over the past few days. So we could be seeing a few flood advisories or flash flood warnings in that area. So if we now take a look at our latest tropical weather outlook here on the National Hurricane Center website, as you can see, there is no new tropical cyclones expected during the next 5 days, which actually is an incredible thing. We've been seeing a pretty large break in the Atlantic tropical weather, and we're not going to be seeing as much tropical weather anymore. There's going to be less potential for tropical waves forming or gaining strength in the MDR, which basically means that we're most likely not going to be seeing any major hurricanes or strong hurricanes, maybe a category 1 at most. And if anyone doesn't want to see my full forecast on what we could be seeing this rest of the season, I definitely recommend you check out my Atlantic hurricane season forecast from just about now until the end of November and into December. So that is on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Now, going back to the current stuff, as you can see, nothing happening in the Atlantic. But as we switch over to the Pacific Ocean, we do have this one area to watch out. And this area does have a 60% chance of forming. Now, this was a 40%. So now it is a 60% chance of formation, which makes it a medium. But I think it's likely that it will go over to a high risk with 70% during the next few days. So definitely watch out if you're on the Mexican coastline over here. Right over here, I'd say, is the main area to watch out, and maybe even up here, Baja California. That's where you gotta watch out for some tropical weather. But I think the United States is just about in the clear, so nothing's really gonna be heading north of this line really. So the U.S. should be in the clear with tropical weather, which is very good news. So this area right here is really our only chance of forming, and there's nothing really that could be forming in the future after this. So this is really the main area to watch out for. Now, if we take a look at our current U.S. weather outlook here, this is by the Weather Prediction Center, and this is basically showing what's currently happening in the U.S. today. So as you can see right here, we have this area of white and gray shaded. Right here, this is actually our area where we could be seeing some heavy snow possible, and this is for Wyoming and South Dakota. So these two areas here, you better watch out for that heavy snow. And I would actually say this entire area over here could be seeing at least snow showers and possibly some heavy snow. So I'll be watching out in those areas. There's gonna be some decent snowfall there, especially in those white highlighted regions. And then ahead of those snow showers and everything like that, we even had a risk of some thunderstorms. And this is actually where we have a risk of a few severe thunderstorms in this area over here. So better watch out for some large hail. And the reason why we have such cold temperatures aloft is actually most likely from this entire system here, this whole winter storm type system over here. So that is what we are watching out for, those severe thunderstorms driven by hail. And I think this is the time of year where we're going to be seeing more of a hail threat around the U.S. over a wind threat. So not as much tornado threats in the for most of this fall, I would say. And it's going to be more hail-driven and wind-driven. And no more really big tornado events is what I'm expecting. I think it's mostly going to be small wind events and maybe small hail events in a few areas around the U.S. But other than that, not much is what I'm expecting for severe weather this fall. So if we move over to our next graphic here, as you can see, we have even more snowfall in this area right here in South Dakota. So this snowfall is going to move all the way into South Dakota before becoming scattered rain showers and thunderstorms here as we move into eastern South Dakota. So there's even some snow chances in some of these areas over here. So this is not all said and done today. We still have a chance of some more snow into tomorrow. So I would even watch out if you're in central South Dakota. You could be seeing some mixed precipitation, I would say, in this area over here. You have to watch out because you're kind of on the battle zone, especially central South Dakota. I'm going to put the line over here. If you're in this black circle right here, you have to watch out for some mixed precipitation. You're not out in the clear yet for any mixed precipitation or snowfall yet because the forecasts are changing, and if it just gets a little colder in some of these areas over here, you could be seeing some mixed precipitation. So I'd still watch out if you're in those areas and monitor the forecast closely. Now, as we take a look at our latest NAM run here, this is actually showing the projected snowfall over the next 24 hours, I believe. And this is what we're expecting for snowfall from this storm. And it is expected to bring many more inches in some of these areas, possibly even up to 22 inches in some of these areas, like right here and over here. So some areas could be seeing near 2 feet of snowfall, and this is just snow to come. This does not include snow that's already on the ground. So there is a chance we could be seeing over 2 feet of snow in some of these regions. So I definitely watch the forecast pretty closely because there is chances for that heavy snowfall, potentially up to 2 feet, which is pretty significant. So yeah, I would say if you're in these areas, you gotta watch out for snowfall. Even these areas over here, which are grays, these are snow showers, and there is gonna be some pretty warm air over here, and then it's gonna move this direction, and yeah, it's gonna start out as rain in portions of some of these areas over here, especially in South Dakota. South Dakota, it's gonna start out as rain, and then the snow will actually push in, and that snow is also accompanied by cold air, and that cold air is actually going to freeze the water on the ground. So any puddles or anything like that from the rainfall that is falling or will fall in South Dakota, that rain will actually potentially freeze on the roadways and stuff, and that could cause some difficulty driving and hazardous driving conditions. So I would definitely stay off the roads if you're in this area, especially if you could see ice on the roads and stuff and it's snowing. I would definitely stay off the roads. But yeah, I think this entire area over here, that's a little too big. I think this entire area right here should stay off the roads. So if you're in this area here, you should probably stay off those roads because there's going to be some hazardous driving conditions in some of these areas. So now if we take a look at our final graphic, which is our latest watches and warnings here across the United States, you can see we have our winter weather alerts over here, and these there's just a lot of winter weather advisories, which are these right here, these purple areas. These are winter weather advisories. And then these light pink areas over here and stuff, these are all winter storm warnings, which means there could be some gusty winds possibly, and maybe even some very heavy snowfall, and very cumulative snowfall, up to around 2 feet. So that is where you have to watch out for that very heavy snowfall in some of those areas. And we even have a few special weather statements in effect. This is, I believe, also for snowfall. So better stay off the roads, especially if you're in a special weather statement or winter weather alert. Stay off the roads because it is going to be pretty hazardous driving out there. Now, also accompanied by this storm, we have a wind advisory right here. This is saying that some breezy conditions could blow around some of those outdoor objects and could even cause some blowing snow. So that's another risk in this area, blowing snow. And I would say you better watch out, especially over here, because it may not be as heavy snow, but you're still going to get some snow, and that's going to be blowing, and that can cause some lower visibility levels. Now, if we go back to California and this area over here, you can see lots of winter weather and wind alerts in this area. We have winter weather advisories accompanied by wind advisories and even a high wind warning in effect for this area right here. So very, very strong winds in some of these areas in the western coast states. And we even have a lot of gale warnings. This extends from all the way up here south to around San Francisco area. That is where we have lots of gale warnings. So very strong offshore winds. And I guess they're saying that these offshore winds could potentially blow onshore, bring those strong gusty winds to some of these areas all over here. So that is most likely what they're saying. There's going to be some gusty winds in some of these areas. So I would say definitely want to be careful. I would say don't be outside in forests or anything like that, because you could be seeing a few trees coming down if there's a lot of rainfall there. So better watch out for those gusty winds in those areas and even some snowfall. And now finally on the East Coast, we have a few gale warnings in effect over here, along with small craft advisories along shore. I know these small craft advisories will expire quite soon. Along with these gale warnings, I believe by tomorrow morning some of these alerts will expire, along with tomorrow evening and stuff like that. So most of this offshore wind is going to be going away pretty soon. This will head east eventually, and that's not only a threat, and the threat is just going down every hour. So I'm not too concerned about the strong winds offshore in this area. We're not going to be seeing any of that wind blowing onshore by any means. I mean, there is going to be some gusty conditions possibly along the Jersey Shore, Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts areas. You could be seeing a little gusty winds, but nothing compared to what's going to be happening offshore. So hazardous marine conditions are likely in these areas. Now, I would like to thank everyone for watching this video. If anyone doesn't want to check out my other outlets, I have a website. It is thehurricanehq.org. It has all of the latest weather graphics and everything on that website that you can find useful. That is all of the latest graphics and more. So if you want to see any of that, you can find that on my website. It's thehurricanehq.org. And I also recommend you check out my Twitter page, because I post on my Twitter page much more often than I post on my YouTube channel. If I don't post a YouTube video, I'll post on my Twitter page guaranteed. So yeah, Twitter is where I post just about everything, even when I'm unable to post on YouTube. So I definitely recommend you check out my Twitter page. As the thing I actually recommend the most you check out is my Twitter and my website. Now, you could also check out my Instagram as well. My Instagram is at the Hurricane HQ as well. And there, I don't post as often. I usually post like once a day in the early morning, like 7:30, right before school starts for me. And I will post just about a image of a graphic or something, just the main threat that day for the U.S. or in the tropics. So if anything big is happening, you'll see that post there. Although I usually don't post as much on there. Maybe if one big thing happens, I'll post on there. But usually I don't post on my Instagram too much. So you don't have to follow my Instagram. But if you would like to get that kind of information, I definitely recommend you check out my Instagram. I won't fill your feed up with hundreds of posts every day. So yeah, if you want a pretty laid back Twitter account that posts like once or twice a day, then my Twitter account or my Instagram account is the accounts for you to follow. Now my YouTube channel is the Hurricane HQ, or youtube.com/the Hurricane HQ. That is what you're watching right now, and you can also click on my channel icon below, and that'll take you directly to my channel page. So yeah. I hope everyone found this video informative and useful. And one more thing I would like to say before I end this video is that I will be adding a winter weather page to my website later today. So if anyone is looking for winter weather, I'll be adding that to my website as well. Now, I hope everyone enjoyed the video and found it informative. I definitely recommend you share it with your family and friends, and especially people who live in the impacted areas, as it really does help get the word out. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching this video. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day.